There they are. What's going on, guys? Vital Brad here. Welcome to episode 2 of It's Feeding Time. This is a series that's just teaching a strategy that I used to gain control over my addiction to food. I've actually been able to lose over 40 pounds now just by applying this strategy. Now, first and foremost, on the last episode, gave kind of an overview of these phases that you go through to get your body ready to lose weight and overcome those hunger cravings. Now, just a reminder right up front, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a specialist. I'm just a regular guy. I'm actually an addict in recovery, and I struggled with a lot of different types of addiction, and food was one of them. Sugar, carbs, and I just had that insatiable hunger that I couldn't stop eating. I couldn't control myself. My body was in control of my spirit. I didn't have enough willpower to stop myself. So I actually just found a way that you can use a system and a framework to overcome that. I've worked for a supplement company, and I've talked to a lot of people that are trying to lose weight, and they struggle with the same thing. Weight loss is literally a mathematical equation. If you can burn more calories than you eat, you're going to lose weight. If you eat more calories than you burn, you're going to lose weight. And those hunger cravings that I know people struggle with, because I did, they're super overwhelming. So before you make any changes or do anything physical, it's always good to check with your doctor. Again, I'm not a medical professional. This is not medical advice. I'm literally sharing my story, what I did, created a framework that worked for me. It may work for you. So I'm always learning and growing and adapting. But yeah, I was at my peak. I was 220 pounds. I'm only 5'8". I was just really big and fluffy and fat. I was extremely tired and lazy. I had no motivation, no drive. I didn't follow through on anything I said I would do. I had no discipline. I was in a pretty bad place. Kind of backstory behind that, I have been struggling with addiction for 20 years. Drugs, alcohol, gambling, lust, pornography, caffeine, social media. Food, sugar, carbs specifically. I finally hit my rock bottom, thankfully, and attended a 12-step recovery program. Thankfully, by the grace of God, I was able to turn my life over to Him, and I've now been completely sober, off drugs, alcohol, medications for over 18 months now. And I've really gotten a grasp on my food cravings. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about what I call phase 1. This is the first step of gaining control over your relationship with food. In my opinion, it's the most important step. You got to get started. And this is really changing what you eat. Specifically, we're going to be going into the keto diet. Now, the keto diet, there's a lot to it, especially when you get down to the molecular level with the mitochondria and everything going on with that. So I'm going to keep it general. Definitely do your research and learn more about the keto diet. But I'm going to give you kind of an overview. It's about 10 years ago, around 2015, I had dabbled around with the keto diet. Got to know the basics. I found out that I really liked it. It worked for me. Basically, kind of generally, what the keto diet is, our body has two fuel systems. Glucose system, carbs and sugar, and the ketone system. Most people eat carbs all day. They get a blood sugar spike and then they crash and then they want more and do it over and over again. I was stuck in that cycle. Just the energy roller coaster, the highs and the lows. these intense cravings, the insatiable thirst for sugar, and I didn't like it. And also, our body's storing fat, not using it for fuel. So, what happens when you reduce carbs? Your body runs out of stored sugar, called glycogen. Insulin levels drop, and your body starts breaking down fat. The liver converts fat into ketones. These ketones become your new fuel source. When carbs go down, fat burning turns on. Why this matters is when you're in ketosis, your body burns stored fat and your brain runs on clean, stable energy. Hunger cravings drop significantly, energy becomes steady, no crash. Instead of being controlled by food, you're finally in control. Carbs raise insulin, which insulin is a fat storage hormone. Not to get into details, but our ancestors, when they'd hunt, they'd go for feast and famine. And when they'd have a feast, it would increase their insulin in their body. It'd say, let's store this for later. We're going to have a famine. So when insulin is high, your body cannot burn fat efficiently. When insulin drops, your body releases fat to burn. Yeah, if insulin's high, fat burning's off. If insulin's low, your fat burning's on. So keto simplifies decisions. It reduces cravings and builds discipline. It stabilizes energy and improves consistency. This helps people keep commitments to themselves. This was important for me. As soon as I got hungry, I gave in and I ate. And keto isn't just about losing weight. It's really about remaining in control. And this makes it a lot easier. So back to calories in, calories out, the concept of losing weight. By putting my body into a state called ketosis, I no longer had those intense, uncontrollable cravings that I couldn't overcome anymore. Those were gone. And with those gone, I was actually able to start controlling how much I ate. So again, phase 1 is you gotta get your body fat adapted, getting into ketosis. And this is literally just changing the foods you eat. If you're like me, when I started this, I went through my fridge, my cupboards, I got rid of all the carbs and sugar that I could. That were mine. Couldn't get rid of my roommate's stuff. But foods on the keto diet are very basic and simple. I'm going to go through these now, kind of in a list form. But the main foods, like proteins, are eggs, bacon, sausage, ground beef, steak, chicken, turkey, salmon, tuna, shrimp, pepperoni. Healthy fats, avocados, that's my go-to. Olive oil, butter, coconut oil, MCT oil, cream cheese, mayo, no sugar added. You gotta watch the labels. Dairy, like cheese, cheddar, mozzarella is my favorite, pepper jack. String cheese, amazing snack. Cottage cheese, sour cream. Plain Greek yogurt, again, watch for any added sugar. Low-carb veggies like spinach, kale, lettuce, broccoli, cauliflower, zucchinis, cucumbers, asparagus, green beans, Brussels sprouts, mushrooms, nuts, seeds. My favorite are, and it gets me in trouble now that I'm watching how much I eat, is macadamia nuts. So good. Almonds, walnuts, pecans, flax seeds, sunflower seeds. Fruit, now limit my fruit, very special occasions, minimum. I hardly eat fruit, but blueberries, kind of a good go-to. Keto-friendly snacks, when you just need a snack, beef jerky. Make sure it has the no sugar. Hard-boiled eggs, again, cheese sticks, pepperoni sticks, tuna packets, almond butter, pickles, and primary drink, water. And include electrolytes. That's really important for keto. I salt everything. And if you're going to have coffee, black coffee. You don't want cream or sugar. Foods to avoid on the keto diet, pretty much everything else. Sugar, soda, candy, desserts, bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, chips, most processed foods that you buy and warm up, a juice. If it spikes your blood sugar, it's working against you. So a lot of those foods, they're amazing. They're great. They're addicting. We all love them. So I didn't say this would be easy. Later in phase 3, we're going to be tracking our calories and our macros, and you'll find that there's trace carbs in different foods, like even avocado. So rule of thumb is just to try to stay maximum under 50 grams of carbs per day to stay in ketosis. You do less, the better. 20 grams or less, better. But I listed a lot of foods there to show you that there's a variety of things you can eat, and they're all pretty good. Be perfectly honest with you, I pretty much eat the same thing every day. I like simplicity. I like not having decision fatigue. I eat eggs, bacon. I'm trying to cut down on that slowly. Avocado. I have mozzarella cheese. And then usually I find something on sale between chicken, salmon, hamburger, a steak, and then avocado. Usually have actually 1 to 2 avocados a day, and mozzarella cheese. So usually put some sort of hot sauce on my food. But here in phase 1, just to get into ketosis, our goal is to cut the carbs, cut the sugar, just eat these foods. Don't worry about how much you're eating. Don't worry about when you're eating. You just got to get fat adapted. And what actually helped me overcome the cravings that I got when I started transitioning, getting into keto, the carb withdrawal, the hunger is there for the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days a week. So the way that I did that is when I was hungry, I ate those foods. I didn't worry about how much. So I was actually eating a lot. But they were the right foods. It got me into ketosis. When you're cutting the carbs and the sugar, your body's going to go through a transition. You're not just changing the food, you're changing your body's fuel system. Your body's been running on sugar probably your whole life. And now you're asking it to switch to fat. There's something referred to as the keto flu. It's not actually a flu, but it's your body adapting between the fuel sources. It isn't you getting sick. It's really like your body waking up. Just kind of simple science. When you cut carbs, your body burns through the stored glycogen. Glycogen holds water, so you lose water quickly. You'll also lose electrolytes, sodium, potassium, magnesium. Your body hasn't fully switched yet, so to get through the transition easier, you're going to want to make sure you're taking electrolytes. It's basically because you're in between fuel sources, and common symptoms of this, you can have headaches, fatigue, low energy, brain fog, you can be irritable, annoyed, have cravings, especially to sugar, dizziness, muscle cramps. Again, this is temporary. This is a transition, and it's kind of like your sign that you're doing it right. Coming from the addiction world, it really felt like I was withdrawing off of a drug, which you think food and carbs is drugs. Sugar's highly addictive. You've trained your brain to expect it daily, and now you've cut it off. So your body and your brain are reacting. Just remember, you're not weak, it's just withdrawal. And you're going to get through it. It's temporary. You're just detoxing from dependency. Again, it's worse between 2 and 5 days, maybe a week, but it does get easier. So it's worth it. Then your energy stabilizes, your cravings drop, mental clarity increases. So push through for a few days and everything starts to change. Again, ways to reduce the keto flu is electrolytes. That's a big trick. Sodium, potassium, magnesium. Add salt to everything. I salt my eggs, I salt my avocados, salt my chicken, salt my steak. Makes the process easier. And then drink more water. I drink at least a gallon a day of Kangen water. That's a high pH, 9.5. But whatever water you have, just drink a lot of water. It's going to help transition. And then the other thing is you need to make sure you're eating enough fat. If you're feeling tired, you need to get more fat. I even take a shot of olive oil, like a half ounce, a tablespoon of olive oil, helps me maintain my energy levels really well. Your body needs fuel. Don't overcomplicate your meals, just keep it simple and stick to the basics. Also rest. When you're making this transition to keto, make sure you get your rest in. Plan for it. It's okay to take it easy while you're getting fat adapted. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the show today, this is phase 1. It is the most important step to all of this transformation. In my opinion, again, it's the toughest. It's where most people are going to quit. It's also where discipline is built. If in this phase you're proving that you can do hard things, it will get easier. You're breaking that dependency on carbs and sugar, and you're stepping into control. If you can get through this, you're not going to be the same person on the other side. So, again, phase 1, you're only changing what you eat. Eat the foods we went over. High fat, moderate protein, low carbs. Again, don't worry about when you're eating. And don't worry about how much. That's going to come later, phase 2 and phase 3. If you start now, by the next episode, you can be fully fat adapted and you'll be ready for phase 2. Get the carbs and sugar out of the house. Get yourself the right foods. That's step 1. And then get started. When I started this process, I relapsed many, many times. I would do good. I'd get switched into keto. I'd be fat adapted. I'd get feeling really good. The energy and the mental clarity and the focus. Then I would justify. The weekend would come. I've done good all week, and I would tap in and have a cupcake, have a cookie, have some ice cream. And as soon as I did that, I felt tired. I felt depressed. I would binge more. Oftentimes, I would end up going way over the deep end. Sometimes it would take me a while to get back onto the keto train. But eventually, after doing this over and over and over, I finally learned that the pain of eating the treat was worse than the pleasure of enjoying the treat. I honestly don't even crave sugar anymore. I actually linked up in my mind as toxic, or I'm allergic to it. I've heard people say that, but it doesn't work for me. I don't like the way I feel. I don't like the way I think. I get depressed. I get tired. I get foggy. So you'll be on your own journey. You'll get to experience relapse. That's okay. It's part of the process. Just start over. Try again. Eventually you're going to get to the point where you don't even want it anymore. One other thing is diet drinks. I learned this the hard way. Diet drinks, technically, 0 sugar, keto, technically. So I was falling into a diet Dr. Pepper trap where I justify 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 carbs. But I learned from personal experience that diet drinks make me so much more hungry. I drink it and I just have this craving that would make me feel hungrier. So get rid of diet drinks. My own recommendation might be something you got to learn your own way, but just makes it harder. It's not critical in phase 1 and phase 2, but come phase 3, when we're actually cutting down calories, it's going to make you hungry. It makes it hard. So again, phase 1, get fat adapted, change your fuel source. Don't worry about when you're eating or how much you're eating. Yet, that will come. Phase 2, once you're fat adapted, we're going to be adjusting the time that we eat. Getting into intermittent fasting and controlling our eating window. Start with a real open eating window, like eat for 8 hours, fast for 16, or even smaller. Maybe you eat for 10 hours and fast for 14. There's a lot of benefits to intermittent fasting, and it's also going to help you lower your calories. So it's all part of the process. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Episode 2. Remember, subscribe. Building a program for like-hearted and like-minded people. If this helps you in any way, like it, share it. Appreciate your support. Other than that, that's all I got for you. We'll see you on the next one. One love.